Okay, so I'm gonna be going over the dumbbell chest supported row, some of the mistakes I see people make, some of the mistakes I make, or at least used to make before I corrected it, and why I may implement these changes and why they might be beneficial for you. So, first thing you're gonna see here is when I set up, I just get straight to it, no wasting time. And my first emphasis is keeping heavy down on the chest and let the hips lift up. So as you see, I'm letting the hips rise a bit, keep some space between my hips in the bench while putting most of my pressure down on my chest. Now, people might argue against this and say you actually want to go into some extension. However, for me, I think most people already have an extension bias, so that means they're going to be already more prone to just dumping the pelvis into the bench, lifting the chest up, and at that point, we're not really training the lats in the way we want to train, or at least optimally. Now, what we end up training is the spinal erectors when we go into extension, and if you want to build big spinal erectors, you're better off doing some heavy bent over barbell rows or deadlifts. Rudely interrupted in my mid-set, but that's okay. Guy was just asking if my boss was there. No harm, no foul. So anyways, I am trying to row up with an emphasis on the lats. So I am thinking about bringing my elbows into my pockets. So think about sweeping the elbows back rather than trying to curl the weight up. So you'll find when you're cueing for bringing the elbows or the hands into the pockets, when you're rowing and getting that nice sweep going for the lats, you might find your thoracic trying to go into a lot of extension. So that is why I cue for keeping heavy emphasis on keeping the chest down into the bench, just so we can resist going into too much excessive extension. Like I said, we're not trying to turn this into a spinal erector exercise, and we don't want to overly compress the ribcage. Okay, so the main things I'm focusing on is trying to pull through the elbows. Now that's a classic cue you'll hear all the time. Some other ways you can kind of visualize that is trying to initiate or break the movement by engaging with the scapula first. So obviously we have the two basics. We can think of protraction and retraction of the scapula. So obviously towards the bottom, we're going to protraction. We want to feel the movement break with our back. Don't even think about the hands. Going into retraction and then allowing the elbows to come up with it. So rather than allowing your elbows to flex as you come up into that row, we want to make sure that we maintain a steady angle with the elbow flexion and pull through the elbow rather than curling the weight up. So you might see people flex the weight up. Instead, you want to almost sweep the weight up, if that makes sense. So obviously, especially for lats, we want to really emphasize that sweep, keeping that elbow down and keeping that steady elbow position so we're not going into more flexion. But for a, let's say, mid-back, upper back row, we're going to go at more of a flared out angle, and the same thing still applies. We don't want to flex the weight up this way, allowing the arm to come in towards the midline. We want to keep that steady angle. So let's say like we make that 90 degree there. And if we're doing a more mid-back focused row, we want to come out a bit more. So this is where we really want to feel for that sweeping out. And if we just pull through the hands, if we have too tight of a grip, then we're not really getting what we want out of the movement. As you can see, I'm going to excessive extension. I'm kind of getting away from loading the mid-back, mid-trapezius. So there's definitely a lot I wanted to say that I didn't quite get to. I wanted to keep this video kind of short and sweet. I've been working a lot on editing some longer form content, and I'll be honest, it has been quite a challenge for me. It's still new to me. I'm still trying to learn a lot about this whole YouTube game. So I figured just try to get something quick out today. Recorded and edited this all today, and I'm just trying to get it out ASAP. So it's a little unorganized. It's not my best video. Not that there's a whole lot to compare to, but I promise the quality will get better. It's still a work in progress, trying to kind of figure out my style and what exactly I'm trying to do with this channel. So for the time being, this is just kind of giving some cue tips. So for the time being, I'm mostly just going to give out some quicker videos on form and cues that I use, mostly for my own clients, but also for myself and things that I've changed in my own training. So if this has helped you guys at all, please let me know. You can reach out to me on Instagram or reach out to me on here. Of course, just leave me a comment. If you'd be interested in working with me, I am pretty busy right now, so which is a great thing. I'm happy for it. But yeah, so you guys can definitely expect some programs coming up. I'm looking to do some things specifically for shoulder pain, as that's kind of what my journey has been and what I tend to work with the most. So if you guys would take any interest in that, please let me know. Comment down below what you guys' thoughts were on the video. If you have any disagreements or just want to create a conversation around this topic of dumbbell chest supported rows, which is such a raving topic, I know. Let me know if there's anything you disagree about with my cues, anything that you particularly don't like or change for yourself. Yeah, I would love any feedback. Thank you guys.